Hello boys and girls, welcome to the Math Club. In this video, we're going to talk about Unit 3 homework. We will answer the rest of the questions. Question 6. Find the value of this. Now, to find the value of this, we're going to take the values of the variables and substitute them into this expression. And then after substituting, we're going to solve them or solve the numbers together so we can find the final value of this expression. Now, let's take them and substitute them, and then we will answer them step by step. First, we take a look at the variables here and their values, and we're going to put them in the expression. So p equals 8. So we're going to write 5 multiplied by 8. And as we said, that if you find a number attached to a variable, it means it's multiplied by it. Now, 5 bracket 8 plus, good, square root of 4 multiplied by what? By q. And q is 9. Very good. And then all divided by what? By a bracket, which is all squared. And then we have 6 multiplied by r, which is -1. And then plus 5. And as we said, the bracket is all squared. Very good. Now this is the first step of substitution, in which we put the values of the variables into the expressions. And now we can solve it. Now if it's an MCQ question, you have no problem in putting it in the calculator and it will give you the answer. But if you want steps in other questions, you have to follow the steps one by one. Now let me show you how do you do steps here. First, 5 here times 8 equals what? Very good, it's going to be 40. It's going to be 40. So we write 40 here and we remove this. Now let's talk about this. Inside the bracket we have 4 times 9, which is what? Very good, which is 36. And now 36 under the root equals what? Very good, equals 6. As I told you, you need the steps if the question is not an MCQ question. If they tell you to write your steps or show your work. As I told you now, the root or the square root of 36 is 6. Now at the end we add 40 and 6. They're gonna be what? Very good. They're gonna be 46. So we add these together, they're gonna be 46. Now, after finding the numerator, let's write it here so we can understand what are we doing. So we have 46 in the numerator here. And now we're gonna work on the denominator step by step. First step, we have 6 multiplied by -1. 6 times -1 equals what? Very good, -6. And then -6 plus 5 equals what? Good job. It's going to be -1. And then we're going to square it. -1 squared equals what? Good job. It's going to be 1. And as I told you, you follow these steps because some answers or some questions will need you to write the steps for each question. Now, the last step here is what? It's 46 divide 1. 46 divide 1. And the answer will be what? Very good. It's going to be 46. And this is how I answer a question like this. Now let's move on to the next question. Question 7. If A equals 3, B equals 1, and C equals 5, find the value of this. Same idea. We're going to substitute these variables or these values and put them instead of the variables. We're going to write them here step by step, answer them, and then find the complete answer. As I told you, you can use a calculator to finish this. And if the question is not an MCQ question, you can do it step by step. Now, first, let's substitute together. So what do we have here? We have 4 multiplied by A, and we said that A is 3. So 4 multiplied by 3 plus 3 multiplied by B, which is 1, and then all squared. Remember this, all squared. So I follow the same instructions from this expression, okay? And then plus AC squared. So plus, we said A is 3 and C is 5. And the 5 is what? Very good, squared. Now, after finishing this, you can put the whole thing in the calculator and it will give you the answer. You must make sure that you put all the brackets, all the squares in the right order, and then it will give you the answer. But here, I'll show you all the steps needed to do so you can write the steps that you want to answer with. So 4 times 3 here is what? Very good, it's 12. And then 3 times 1 is 3. And when you add them together, they're going to be what? 15. And the 15 is what? Very good. Squared. So 15 squared, we're going to add it here. So we're going to write 15 squared equals 225. So 15 squared means what? It means 15 times 15. And the answer is what? 225. So we write 225. So as I told you, I'm doing the answer step by step, and I'm following the steps of the expression. I chose this part here, I finished it, and the final thing is 225. Now I'm going to do this part here. As I told you, you have to follow the steps. First thing you do is what? Here. Very good. You square the 5. You can't multiply the 3 by the 5. You have to square the 5 first, because as you can see, C is squared here, not the A. So you square it and then multiply it. So we write what? Very good. So plus 3 times what? 5 squared is 25. And then you multiply the 3 by 25. So the answer will be what? Very good. So 3 times 25 will give you a 75. So plus 75. And then the answer, or the final answer, will be what? So 225 plus 75. And the answer will be 300. As you can see, this is the answer. As I told you, I'm doing the answer step by step. You have to do the same so you can get used to it. Now, let's move on to the next question. Question 8. List all integers that satisfy the inequality, which is this. So we need all the integers that satisfy the inequality. Now, what does that mean? It means, what is x? This is the question. What is x here? So to know what is x, you have a lot of ideas or a lot of different techniques to find it. You can say that x is a number which is bigger than negative 2 and equal to it, so it starts with negative 2 and ends at 3 because it's not equal to 4. Now let me show you another step of doing this. You can put the inequality on a number line and answer the question very easily. How do you do this? You're going to put a number line, you're going to put negative 2 here, and then negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now here you can see that negative 2 has a circle on it, and this circle is shaded because there's an equal sign here. Very good. And then this number here has a circle too, which is 4, but it's not shaded because we don't have an equal sign here. Okay, so because I don't have an equal sign, I don't shade. If I have an equal sign, I shade the circle, and then the circles are connected with a line. Now I need to know what are the integers that satisfy this. Now let me change the color. Okay, I'll use blue. Now I can see that 2 is included here because the circle is shaded, so 2 is included in the integers. And then I'll go until the 4, before the 4, and the 4 is not included because the circle is not shaded. I can see the integers here in the middle of the this blue line or circle. These are the integers that we're talking about. So you can come here and write these integers like this. So you're going to say it's -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. These are the integers that gives me, or that are included in the answer or satisfy this inequality. And this is how you answer a question like this. Now let's move on to the next question. Question B. Solve this. Now this is an inequality. We're going to solve it. It has two sides. We're going to solve this inequality by what? By making x alone. That's the idea of solving inequalities. So first, we can see that x is not alone on this side. What is the problem? We have a 3 multiplied with it, and we have a -7. Now, we can't get rid of the 3 until we get rid of what's added and subtracted. So we're going to take the -7 to the other side by making it +7. So let's do it like this. This is going to be +7. And then we write it 3x, and we write the same sign. 13 plus 7 equals, very good, it's 20. So it's going to be 20. And then the next step is what? Very good. We have a 3 multiplied with the x, and we want to get rid of the 3. So what do we do? Very good. We divide on 3 here. And because we divide it in this side, we're going to divide on 3 on the other side. Very good. Now, when you divide by 3 here, the 3 goes with the 3, so the x is alone here. And then we have the bigger sign, and then we have 20 over 3. Now, you can leave it like this, or if you want to make it a decimal, you can make it a decimal, or you can make it as a mixed number. Now, let's turn this into a decimal. So we can use a calculator. So 30 divide 3 equals what? 20, I'm sorry. Divide 3 equals 6.6. 6.6. So you can say that x here, wait, is bigger than 6.6. Or make it as a fraction or a mixed number. So how do we make it as a mixed number? It's going to be like this. We make x, which is bigger, and we know that this one is 6. And then what? The denominator is 3. Very good. 3 times 6 is 18, and we need 2 to make a 20. So 6 and 2/3. You can make the answer as a fraction, or you can make it as a decimal, or you can make it as a mixed number. If you put all of them, that's good, and the teacher will know that you understand the idea. Now, this is the idea of answering a question like this. So solving inequalities means what? It means you want to find what's x, and you want to make x alone. And all the numbers, you can put them on the other side and solve them or calculate them together. Now let's move on to the next question. Question 9. Make Q the subject of this formula. As we can see in this formula, we have P equals square root of 7Q divide 5. Now you can see here that the root is taking the whole fraction. So we can't get rid of the 5 until we remove the square root. Very good. Now to remove a square root, what do we do? Very good. Square both sides, because square is the opposite of a square root. So we square both sides. So p squared, this one squared, the square takes away the square root, and we end up with 7q divide 5. Now we can take the 5 to the other side by multiplying. So the 5, because it's divided, is going to go to the other side by multiplying. So it's going to be 5p squared. Now let me write it here. So we have 5p squared equals what? Very good, 7q. Now, as I told you, you have to write your steps and they have to be clear. And if it's needed, do every step alone. Don't jump to the answers. Make sure that it's obvious and the teacher can see all the steps and they have to be clear. Now let's move on. So 5p squared equals 7q. I need q alone and the 7 is multiplied by the q. So what do I do? Very good. I divide both sides by 7, or I take 7 to the other side by dividing. Two different techniques, but they give you the same idea or the same answer. Now, after dividing by 7, this 7 goes with this 7, and you end up with the answer, which is q equals 5p squared divided 7, and this is the answer. And this is how you answer a question like this. Now, let's move on to the next question. Before we move on, as I told you, the root is covering the whole fraction. In this situation, you have to get rid of the root first. But if the root is only covering the numerator, you can take the denominator to the other side by multiplying. This is very important. You have to focus on this. Now let's move on to the next question. Question 10. The perimeters of the regular pentagon and the rectangle below are equal. So the perimeter of this shape and this shape are equal. The question says what? Find the area of the rectangle. They need the area of this rectangle. So to find the area, first we must find x. We must find x. Now let me take you step by step to finding x, and then we will substitute the value of x here. After substituting, we will find the values and then find the area by multiplying width by length. Let's do it together. First, let me show you that this is a regular pentagon. So a regular pentagon has the same sides. So if this is 2x, all of them are 2x. So we write them here, 2x, 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 and 2x. Same idea for the rectangle. This side here is the same as this one. So we write the same here, which is what? 3x plus 5. Same idea for this one with this side. So we write x plus 1. Very good. Now, this is the first step, labeling every side. Now, we will take or find the perimeter of the pentagon here, and then we will say it equals to the perimeter of this shape. And then we will use this equation and then try to find the value of x. Now let's do it together. First, we find the perimeter of the pentagon. Perimeter means what? Very good. Perimeter means adding all the sides together. So we have 5 sides of 2x. So to add them together, they're going to be what? Very good. When you add, you don't change the power. You only change the coefficients. So you add the coefficients together. So 2 plus 2 is 4, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10x here. So the perimeter of the pentagon is 10x. Now we're gonna write it here, 10x. Wait. So we can work on it. Equals the perimeter of the rectangle. Now let's find the perimeter of the rectangle. As we said, we're going to add all these together to find the perimeter of the rectangle. Let's add them together. So we have here what? X plus 1. You can write them as an expression like this. Let me do it like this, step by step, okay? So x plus 1, this side, and then this side plus x plus 1, and then this side plus 3x plus 5, and then this side plus 3x plus 5. Now we're going to add like terms together. So how many x's do we have? Let's count. we have 1, 2, plus 3 equals 5, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 x's. So we write 8x. And then the constants, we have 1, 2, plus 5 is 7. This is a 5. Yes, my mistake. Yes, so 1, 2, plus 5 is 7, plus another 5, it's 12. So 5 and 5, 10, 11, 12. Yes, so plus 12. Very good. So we have 8 x's, so 8x, as I told you, 6, 7, 8, plus 12. Now, this is the perimeter of what? Of the rectangle. Now, I'm going to put it here, 8x plus 12. Now, I wrote an equation that has what? The perimeter of the pentagon and the perimeter of the rectangle. And they said that it's equal. Now I'm trying to find x. To find x, or to find the value of x, I have to put all the variables in one side that have x, and all the numbers or constants on the other side. So I'm going to take this 8 here and make it negative 8x. So 10x minus 8x equals 12. Next, here 10 minus 8 is 2x. 2x equals 12. Now I'm going to divide both sides by what? Very good. I'm going to get rid of the 2, so divide 2 here and divide 2 here. This goes with this, and 12 divided 2 equals 6. So x equals what? Very good, x equals 6. Now this is the first part of answering this question. I found the value of x. Now after finding the value of x, I'm going to use it in these sides. I want to find these two sides so I can find the area. Now let me use it here. Let me erase these. I already used these. Understand the idea? Now I said that x equals what? Very good, equals 6. So I'm going to put 6 here instead of the x. So 6 plus 1 equals what? Very good, it equals 7. So this side is 7. Now I'm going to do the same with this side. I'm going to put 6 instead of the x. And it's multiplied by 3 here. So it's 18. And then 18 plus 5 equals what? Very good, 23. So this side is 23. Now I have both sides. This side is 7 and this side is 23. And the area means what? It means width times length. So I'm going to write it here. Area equals width times length. So it equals what? The width is 7 and the length is 23. Now I'll multiply 7 by 23 using the calculator. So 7 times 23 equals what? 7 times 23 equals 161. So the final answer is 161. And this is the area of the rectangle. And this is how you answer a question like this. As I told you, some questions can be long and they need a lot of steps like this one. So first thing we did is what? We found the perimeter of the pentagon. By what? By adding all the sides together. And then we found the perimeter of the rectangle by adding all the sides together. And we made them equal because they told us that they're equal. After making them equal, we took the 8x to the other side by subtracting, and then 10 minus 8 equals 2x, and then 2x equals 12. We divided both sides by 2, and we end up with x equals 6. After that, we take the 6 and then found these sides by substituting the value of x with 6. And then I end up with 7 here and 23 on the length. And then I said that the area is the width times the length, and I multiplied them together, I got 161. And if it's centimeter, yes, it is centimeter. So it's gonna be what? Because it's area. Very good. Centimeter square. Good job. Don't forget the unit and the answer of this question. And this is how you answer a question like this. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.